How you doing, Delhi? All right, make some noise. I can't hear you. Welcome to the Thyagraj Stadium. There are so many people watching us right now. Can you make enough noise to make them know that you love being here right now? It's amazing. Welcome. Give yourself a round of applause for coming here and watching this experience live. Everybody, welcome to PUBG Mobile Club Open 2019 Spring Split India Finals. Give a round of applause to all the 16 teams that you see right here. What you're going to be witnessing for the next 2 days is going to be 16 of these teams, best of India's teams, battle it out with each other, because just 3 of them will stand a chance to go to the global finals happening in Berlin, Germany. A lot of things are at stake. They are the best because they took part in the open qualifiers, where guess how many teams competed? 11,000 teams registered and participated in the open qualifiers, and then finally these 16 are here. They're already battle fatigued, but they are here to entertain you. Can we have a round of applause for all the 16 teams here? Good job, you guys. Fantastic. But to be honest, an event of this scale would not have been possible without all of you. And for the people watching it right now, this would not happen. All of this is for you. I hope you guys completely enjoy this. Give me a round of applause for everybody who's here and everybody who's watching right now. Good job. Keep that applause going to PUBG Mobile. And our official title sponsor for today, Vivo. Thank you so much for supporting the Indian esports scene, and this is standing testimony to how far we have come. And tonight, and today, and tomorrow, we're going to be watching these matches, which is going to completely keep us entertained. Now, before anything else, I also want to tell you that Vivo is also doing something really special today. They are going to be providing a yet-to-be-launched, their latest flagship gaming phone to all the players that are here in front of you. Give them a round of applause. It's going to be incredible. But before anything else, let's take a quick look at the features. Now, why is it amazing to play on the Vivo Z1 Pro? It's because the Vivo Z1 Pro has a Qualcomm Snapdragon of 712 processor, and then also a multi-turbo feature to give you an ultimate experience while playing PUBG. Tag that up with a 5000 milliampere battery, तो रात को आपको चार्ज करके खेलने की जरूरत नहीं है. If you're a normal default grip, that's fine. ये claw grip में जब problem होता है ना, I understand. It's no more, भाई यार 2 मिनट दे दे यार, मेरे को चार्ज करना है, and then पैंट से कोई पेल के चले गया. No more of that's gonna happen. Once again, give it up for Vivo, everybody. They have been really supportive, and thank you so much for making this possible. But now, let's take a look at the all-new Vivo Z1 Pro. and gentlemen, here it is. Make some noise for Vivo Z1 Pro, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. This is going to be an incredible day and 2 incredible days of you watching great PUBG games. Are you guys now ready and excited to get the tournament going? I'm sorry, I'm going to start from the corner. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Everybody, are you ready? All right, now throwing it open to our lovely team of casters with Jason Kaplan. Over to you. We're going to show you around for the next 2 days with all the action. Signing off, or do you?
Action over the course of these next 2 days. I'm going to start again because I want the audience to hear this. Namaste, everyone. We are excited to be here. Jason Kaplan, John Allen, and Bled, they're on the end here to bring you the action over the course of these next 2 days. Now, first of all, before we get into this full tournament, Bled, I know you live here in India, but John, how have you been enjoying being here so far?
It's been lovely. Very hot, very hot. I've managed to stay inside, stay under the AC for now, so seeing if I'm going to stay cool under the collar for here. We're looking for the teams to do the same as well.
I mean, Bled, you've obviously visited Delhi many times as well. What's your favorite part about being here?
Well, the first thing is you never get used to the heat, right? But I do love the food. I've been enjoying the food. I've been having a blast.
And John, I mean, this is going to be like a big event for you. Just the fact that you've been covering the EU qualifiers for the finals, you're covering the Indian qualifiers as well, and now here in front of a live audience. It's got to feel great.
Yeah, it's been fantastic so far to be covering one of the strongest scenes, India, in the PUBG Mobile Club Open. It's been fantastic to see these teams' progression and how they've been able to stack up over the course of these games so far. These finals, though, this is crunch time. I'm looking for them to show up, to stand up, stay strong, and show us what they've got.
Absolutely. Like, this is what it all boils down to, right? That one slot, the guaranteed slot in Berlin. Everyone's fighting for that. And the cool thing is we have a number of really, really solid teams in the running.
And not only are they fighting, by the way, for the slot to get into Berlin to play in the finals, and of course the 2 prelim spots, they're fighting for a chunk of cash here. $175,000 on the line, split between the teams, and look at that first place, $60,000. Second place, half that at 30 grand.
You're looking at a really, really strong prize pool here. But, as we were saying before, 60K comes with a huge bonus here of that qualifying spot to Berlin. That is what all these teams are going to be gunning for. Of course, 30K, 20K, still huge sums of money coming in. But you are guaranteed at least $2,000 just for making it this far.
Well, and the Z1 Pro phone as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, brand new phone. No one's going to get a hands on it until these guys do. That's great. And even if you look at the 4th and the 5th place, right, 15K, 10K, that's nothing to really scoff at. Yeah, they won't get a slot in the finals or even the prelims, but you know, at least get that money in the pocket. So pretty big prize pool, all things considered.
And we know what they're playing for, the money, the chance to go to Berlin to play in the global finals. But let's see how they get there. Let's look at how the points are distributed here across all the teams, across all the maps as well. And we can already see, John, placement, heavy emphasis on that.
Absolutely. It's been time and time again that we're seeing very, very little early game aggression because placement is so important here. You can see that big old duck egg, 0 to 16th. That's going to really have an impact there. 30 points for first place. That is a huge bonus.
I actually like that. You know, you don't get any participation points over here. It's like, you come 16, you're getting nothing out of this, right? And I appreciate that. But that being said, like, John, we have been talking about the fact that it might be a little slow-paced games coming out because everyone wants to play for placements rather than for kills. But if you're an underdog, you would want to make things a little bit more rough for more of the favorite teams. You might see some aggression coming out from some of the more lower-seeded teams.
That's true, although there is a little bit of a shift moving into today's games from the games we've seen before, because, of course, every placement matters. Before, top 60, that's all you had to achieve. Top 24, that's all you had to achieve in the semis and in the group stages. But now we're into the stage where you get one more place, that's an extra couple of grand in your pocket.
And the thing is, looking at this, right, these are the 16 best teams in India. You're not playing in a group stage anymore against teams that you can smash, you can completely overwhelm. You're not playing the semifinals anymore where you can still consistently beat these teams. You're against the best of the best. Do you think, John, that's going to change how teams go about playing?
I think they're going to stick to their guns. I know a lot of these teams have been practicing, they've been putting in the work. Of course, there's been quite a break since the end of the semi-finals.
Indeed.
So managing to get those scrims in, get that practice time on board, they should be able to perform, especially on the Z1 Pros.
That is true, but here's an interesting fact, right? Many of the teams who are going to be playing today, yes, they've been phenomenal online, but LAN, we all know when it comes to gaming and esports, the holy grail of esports is on LAN. Can you really perform like you did online? And that's when the experience of some of these teams who are like, top placed in the semis, maybe that experience is going to come in handy here. Are they going to choke, or are they really going to step up to the plate? That is a question for the remaining teams.
Well, let's actually take a look at the schedule now. The matches we do have coming up today, 6 today, 6 tomorrow. We're going to be kicking things off on Erangel. John, this is going to be an interesting one because if I'm not mistaken, you did say yesterday this was the map most played 50% of the time, and the map that most of the teams out there will be comfortable with.
Every day, 2 maps of Erangel, everybody's going to be super sure of themselves. The question is, who's going to be able to dominate in those important spots? We're looking at Military Camp, we're looking at Pochinki, Yasnaya, all of these hotspots, because that can give you a lot of strength. Now, a lot of these teams have kind of figured that out already. I mean, we know 8-Bit like to land towards Pochinki. We know that down south you're going to be seeing Team IND in Military Island. So the question is, are people going to challenge that, or are they going to try and play a safe game?
I really would love to see some of the, like I mentioned, some of the more unknown teams be a little bit more. I want to see them kind of throw a curveball, be a little bit more disruptive with the way they play. Because, like you mentioned, some of the more known teams, we know their patterns, we know what. Big fellas, they're a team I like because of the name in particular. Evil big fellas. They don't look evil, to be very honest, but I'm going to be kind of rooting for the underdog.
Man, they look pretty naughty.
That looks pretty sick. I like it. I like it. And we, of course, have Entity Gaming, who have picked up team, I do believe it is team coming soon. So they're a pretty well-known org in India when it comes to Dota 2 and Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So it's great to see them picking up the PUBG Mobile team as well. And, of course, when you pick up a team like that, you're going to be expecting results coming out of them.
And before we dive further into a couple more teams, I want to talk about how some of the teams out there had 5-man rosters. Do you think we're actually going to see some swaps coming in during these matches over the course of today?
For sure. I think that, there we go, that's Team Seoul on the camera on your screens right now.
They're so bashful. They're like, we're not that famous, whatever. But they are by far the crowd favorites. We got Team Insidious. They have been phenomenal as well, coming in second in the semis. Yeah. So they have been really, really consistent.
Very, very consistent. That's exactly what we're looking at. Unfortunately, though, they will be playing without one of their players. Omen will not be in the mix.
Team India getting a huge round of applause from the crowd. They did come a 10th, I do believe, in the semis. They are, of course, a team that you can kind of consider as underdogs, but they can kind of pull off a surprise there as well.
And that is a team you're going to have to watch out for as well, because they had the most kills in groups by far, actually by 10 more than Hydra, who came in second place with 80. They had 90 themselves. So when we get to these smaller maps, will they be able to pop off like we've seen in the past?
And I do believe, it comes down to, like I mentioned, the meta is different over here, because the kill points, bear in mind, you only get 1 point per kill. So teams, like I said, even if you're a high-fracking team, that doesn't necessarily guarantee you a good kill.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how all these teams start to stack up. Of course, there's been so much time, there's been so much going on since those semi-finals, so a lot will change.
So do you guys have any predictions? Who's going to come out on top in this first game?
I'm gonna go with Team Seoul, man. I think they're crowd
You're
favorites.
playing up to the crowd. Come on.
I don't care. I'm from here. I'm just gonna go with this. I like these guys. They got the panache. They were almost knocked out, by the way, but they managed to come back. And this tournament is going to be a tale of redemption for these guys.
I'm backing up my boys, Team Insidious. I think they have the chops to do it. Super consistent. I think that the player swap shouldn't be affecting them too much. They were speaking to them before. They've got plenty of practice in with their new guys, so they should be able to bring the heat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for all the teams participating today. We're getting into our first match of the day. John and Blair, take it away.
Over on to Erangel. It is going to kick us off where it all began, the first map in PUBG, and the first plane is inbound.
The first plane is inbound indeed, and that is a pretty interesting pathway. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally live with the first game of the day, and it is going to be on Erangel. And look at the flight path coming in here, John. It is going to get a little tricky. It's smack in the center. Who's going to be dropping out first? You know these teams better than anyone else in the talent group, to be honest. Do you have any predictions where they're going to be going?
Yeah, so Seoul, generally we've seen them go towards South George. They might have changed that up. A lot of early drops actually coming out. Looks like people are going to be moving quite heavily towards Georgia Pole. That's a huge stack early on.
This
Hydra
is
out pretty early as well.
This is so surprising. We expected a much more passive play, but look at the number of teams just dropping out early on. It's going to be a bloodbath here early on in the game.
Well, we'll see how these rotations happen and see where these clashes do occur. At the moment, seems like everyone's just starting to spread out. Okay, early drops, but they are dissipating now. So you can see Team Insidious, North George. That's going to be where they're going to opt to drop. But the Megastars, they're going all the way up to Zaki as well. No surprise to see a few of them seeing what they can get. Smokey on your screens.
Smokey, and he's got his fans cheering for him, and it's going to be Smokey. Of course, pretty well-known players on his team. Burns,
cosplaying the Kaiju Godzilla.
Gojira, as our Japanese friends would say. And we do have a little bit of action. I know you guys can't see the minimap right now, but we do have a few teams. Team Evil, Evil Big Fella's dropping towards Military Power, and that circle is going to make things really interesting.
Oh, I hope we get that one up on screen pretty soon, because that circle is pretty huge, and actually it's going to make life very difficult for these Georgia Pole teams. They're going to have to make that rotation because we are moving on south. There we go. Mortal. He's on your screen. Give it up.
I think just pause there for a second to soak in the adrenaline from the entire audience.
Oh, yeah.
But there we go. The player that everyone's keeping an eye on, regarded by many people as one of the best, and of course, definitely the most popular PUBG Mobile player in the country.
For sure.
Ooh, gunshots going off early on.
A little bit of argy-bargy starting to take place. The Tigers, I think they might have just popped off a couple of shots by mistake. Not too sure that one was on purpose. But I really want to take a look at this circle and let you guys see that, because hopefully we'll be able to get that up on screen, because it is a very dramatic shift. It's heavily southern. It's going to be moving over towards the military base. And coincidentally, no one's actually landed there.
And no one's really started making their way there. I would kind of thought at least one of these teams who were close to the military base, I'm talking about Team RIP or Team India, would probably make their way towards military base, because I'm sure didn't see anyone drop there. And they are closest to military base right now. They could go there, set up base, get all the loot over there. They're not going to be facing much action, but instead they're going to be playing this a little bit more safe.
Yeah, they're going to be just chilling for now. You can see they're looting up just north of the bridge for us at the moment. Everyone still staying very far apart. This was expected. This is what we were looking for. No one wants to go for those early fights at the moment. School very much held down at this stage. These early circles, they do take quite a long time to come in. You can see there's still